17 years ago, I met a guy in a rundown dive bar, bought him a whiskey and took him home. We continued to date. When the time came, I wanted my parents to like him, so I lied and said I met him at the gym I worked at. I said he bought a membership just because he liked me. This was partially true. He did buy a membership from me. He just bought it a week after I picked him up at the bar. 17 years later, and we are happily married and have a beautiful life with 2 kids. My dad adored the story of this shy, timid guy coming into my gym and buying a membership just to court me. He retells the story constantly. I didn't have the heart, and now it's been way too long, to admit the true story of how we met. That his dear, sweet daughter lured him with alcohol and a one-night stand. Back when I was like 12 or something, me and my parents were at the beach. At some point during the afternoon, we heard people talking about a huge and beautiful sandcastle not too far from our spot. I went looking for it, but when I finally saw it, it was really great. My mind filled with anger and jealousy. I looked around and waited for the moment when no one was nearby to smash it. I literally walked all over it and then run away as fast as I could, sit down on my towel, and pretended nothing happened. A few minutes later, I heard someone shouting about it being destroyed, but I was never caught. I don't know what got into me. I never experienced such blind and provoked rage ever again, and to this day, every time I see a sandcastle, I feel deeply ashamed by myself. An old coworker and I ate another coworker's Chinese food BC. We thought it belonged to another guy who was gonna be out long after the food went bad. The coworker who actually brought it had serious anger issues to begin with, and she yelled at everybody about it, and we told her we saw our boss threw it away. She also wasn't allowed to actually leave food in our fridge since she was from a different department and had been warned before that her food would get thrown out. So she did get what she deserved, but still felt kinda bad. There was a kid in my middle school who was picked on a lot by others in his grade, and he would use that built-up anger on bullying people a grade below him, which included me. I knew deep down he was a good guy, so I tried to not let it affect me because I saw how nasty people were to him. One night, he posted on Facebook a really worrisome message about missing everyone and saying goodbye. I called the principal immediately, he was a family friend, and told him about it. He ended up calling the police with a care concern, and the next day I went on Facebook to see the guy post. Thank you to whoever my guardian angel is that called this in. You saved my life. I think about him from time to time and hope he is doing. Please always check on people. Life is worth living. I'm scared I might be dying, and I didn't know what to do. I've lost 40 of my body weight in 6 months without changing anything. I'm waiting for a mammogram due to lumps, and if that's normal, they're going to start testing for other cancers. I keep telling my husband it's just complications from my GERD because he worries so much. I'm already a burden for him due to my chronic illnesses. I'm scared of dying. I have 3 and 4-year-old kids. We are broke already and in debt. Our furnace died today. Our car broke down last week. I didn't know how I'm going to pay for this, let alone cope. How do I support my family when they have to support me? I'm so tired. I'm so scared. Thanks for letting me get that out. My dad was on his deathbed, and everybody kept pushing me to have a conversation with him. My dad was an amazing man and didn't want to leave us, and I could tell my dad didn't want a conversation like that. He wasn't a toxic man, neither am I. We just didn't need a whole conversation to let each other know we loved each other. So, on second Christmas Day, my mom and sisters left the house for a bit, and when they came back, I lied and told them Dad and me had a great conversation. In actuality, we watched the Doctor Who Christmas special and a few episodes of Stargate's One together. I miss you, Dad. My husband was carjacked one night in a major metro area and held at gunpoint by a crackhead. After several hours, the man made him pull into what he recognized as a dump site, and so he took care of it. My husband made it home. After we sent our daughter off to school, I spent the morning double-checking his shell-shocked attempt to clean up the car while he passed out from the shock where. From that day to this one, our kids have no idea the lengths their father could, would, and has gone to for them. Whatever problems may exist between us, there is a healthy dose of mutual respect and understanding. We keep on keeping on. My husband and I met when we were 13, 14 years old, and we've been married for over 50 years. Back in those days, very few women worked outside the home. I stayed home and raised our 6 children while he worked to provide for us. My father opened a bank account for me and would deposit a little money here and there, every once in a while so that I had the means to get out of a bad situation if I ever needed to. Over the years, I have invested some of the money in stocks and I am sitting on a small fortune now. We're happily married and enjoying grandchildren and a few great-grands. I intend to leave that money to my one granddaughter that is a stay-at-home mom so she can have some type of financial security should things change in her marriage. I'm the one who went into an ex-friend's phone trash can and retrieved the evidence she found on her family's shared cloud and deleted when she realized her husband was a serial rapist who kept photographic trophies. I took them all and used her email to send them to one of his victims I knew was having problems being taken seriously. Then I deleted the sent email from the folder, redeleted the pictures, and wiped all my fingerprints off the phone and put it back into her purse. My friend's life was ruined for a while when he was convicted, but I felt like she was guilty for covering up for him to maintain her lifestyle. No, we aren't still close friends, and she doesn't realize I knew her passcode to get into her phone, so she has no reason to suspect me. The day my dad died, my mom had stayed up with him all night fretting about what a difficult time he was having breathing. She messed with his breathing tubes and placement and whatnot trying to help. I was asleep because I had the day shift while she slept. While she was asleep, the hospice nurse came by to check and bathe him. She noticed that my dad's oxygen had been bumped and he wasn't getting much boost. She didn't know how long it had been like that. My sister, who had been home from work for maybe an hour at this point, and I made eye contact and vowed that information goes to the grave with us. Before she left, he was remarkably still, so she checked his vitals again and he had passed. My mom never needs to know she likely made his last hours harder. When I was little and playing alone on my grandparents' property, I found a mama quail, I think, and its babies were following it around. I wanted to catch them because they are cute. But my grandma's dog took one in its mouth. I think it was injured. She never would have done so if I weren't trying to play with them, so it was my fault that little bird was injured, maybe even died. I blamed it all on the dog, knowing I was lying. She was a good dog. Nothing came of it. I just still feel terrible for the little guy's fate and lying about my part in it. When I was 12, I read my dad's old journals, snooping one day in the closet. Something that didn't have much of an impact on me until I was an adult and had my own children was that he wrote when I was a baby in utero that he thought his kids would probably end up hating him like he hated his dad. His dad walked out on the family. My dad is a complicated person who made many mistakes as a parent, but I think he is a truly good person. And some of my most precious childhood memories are sweet things he did for me. My son's middle name is my dad's name. We didn't talk about our feelings much, but when I told him my son's middle name, I could tell it touched his heart, and I hope he knows he did better than his dad did. This year I was diagnosed with PUS after going 4 months without a period. I started taking metformin to treat it, and it is changing my life. My whole body is transforming, and it's been amazing. I've told my friends normal things, like I have tons of energy now, and I got my period back. But I can't tell them that my boobs are getting bigger, and my vulva is getting smaller, and changing color from brown to pink. It's like I'm going through puberty again, but instead of transforming into a troll, like when I started at 11, I'm actually transforming into a woman like I was supposed to. It's an honest-to-God miracle. I'm serious, it is straight up magic. As a kid, I found a collectible signed baseball in the parking lot on a vacation. I picked it up and put it in my pocket. Later on, I saw a kid and his family looking for something, and I knew it was the ball and I kept it anyway. I also kept a bottle of Paris Hilton perfume that was accidentally put in my bag at Gordman's and took it back for cash. In the first grade, I got a red card for laughing during quiet time. Quiet time, we basically just put our heads down so my face wasn't visible during my laughing. This was my first red card and also meant the teacher would be speaking to my mother. As soon as the teacher announced she flipped my card to red, my classmates started laughing at me. I did the only reasonable thing and I started bawling my eyes out, from of pure embarrassment. I flipped my head up and said, "I'm not laughing, Im crying because my dog died. I didn't remember many details after that, except her putting my card back to green. My dog was very much alive and didn't pass for 16 years since that incident. I served as infantry in Bosnia, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, and Libya. Not something I talk about except in therapy and one night with my wife. Let's just say that every day I wake up and greet my family knowing damn well that I've ended that dynamic for many others. You can tell yourself whatever lie you want to live with it. Pump yourself up with nationalist pride or take your military service on as an identity long after it's over to make yourself feel right about it. But when the lights go off at night and the ghosts of your mind come raining down with that raw truth you can't run from, it's the emptiest feeling in the world. Unless you've been there, you don't know. I almost died twice, once from a suicide attempt, once from a stroke. I saw and spoke with my dead mother both times. The first time she told me to get my ass back home. The second time she wandered around the perimeter of my hospital room, touching things and talking in a soothing voice. My dead dog and cat were in the hospital bed with me. I obviously, survived that too. I've never told anybody because I didn't know, they didn't care, they think I'm nuts, whatever. I've missed her every day for the past 35 years and I am comforted knowing she's there.